Dad, what happened?
Your mother's going away for a while.
Where? Why?
Back to Houston. And I don't know.
Why? What? I know why. It's me, isn't it?
No.
Yeah, it is. It's my fault.
Don't do that. Don't do that to yourself. It's nobody's fault. Things happen in this world. People don't always have the answers for them, you know.
Hey folks, it's the Blind Guy here, and we are doing another good old movie recommendation. And what if I told you that one of the greatest movies ever made featured an actor who played in a 70s sitcom playing a psychiatrist who's helping a young man cope through his issues? Which movie could I be talking about? Good Will Hunting? Absolutely not. This is Ordinary People from 1980, which seems to have influenced Good Will Hunting, and in my opinion is a far superior movie to Good Will Hunting. But I will be honest, I had not given this movie a chance for years because I think I had harbored some resentment towards it because it beat out one of my personal favorite movies, The Elephant Man, for Best Picture in 1980. And so I thought, well, this can't be as good as The Elephant Man, and so I'm just not going to bother watching it. To be honest, I was wrong. This movie is every bit as good as The Elephant Man and definitely deserved to win Best Picture. And it pains me to say that in a way because I love The Elephant Man so much, but this movie is just absolutely fantastic. So let's roll it back to what the plot's about. The plot in this movie is about Donald Sutherland and Mary Tyler Moore are a married couple. They have a son played by Timothy Hutton, and he is dealing with issues and has to see a psychiatrist played by Judd Hirsch from Taxi. And the movie centers around the death of his brother, their other son, was killed in a boating accident, which we actually don't see. There's just flashbacks to it. And we're about a year later, where Timothy Hutton's character has spent time in a mental hospital and is now having to assimilate back into his old school and has to rebuild his friendships and relationships and struggles with trust issues. And then with Donald Sutherland and Mary Tyler Moore's characters, they have issues in their marriage. They have issues dealing with their son. Mary Tyler Moore's character harbors a lot of resentment towards her son. And Timothy Hutton's character is struggling with PTSD and a lot of survivor guilt issues. And the movie is just extremely fascinating because each one of those three characters is so broken, and yet they're trying to fix the other members in their family, and they can't because they themselves are broken. It has exquisite dialogue. The dialogue in this movie is so good. It's so interesting. You start feeling like you're watching actual, ordinary people, not actors playing them. And to me, that's the telltale sign of a great actor is you start forgetting that's Mary Tyler Moore you're watching, and you just start thinking it's the mom in this relationship that's struggling to love her son and rebuild the relationship she had with her son. Timothy Hutton actually won Best Supporting Actor for this, and he definitely deserved it. Judd Hirsch was nominated. Mary Tyler Moore was also nominated. Donald Sutherland was not nominated, which is often viewed as one of the great snubs in the Academy Awards history because he's fantastic in this movie. As a character, he's just trying to hold things together and smooth things out, not cause conflict, but that is causing more conflict. And he doesn't know what to do with his son because his son has been suicidal in the past. The movie is fairly slowish. It's a little over 2 hours long. It feels longer than that because you're watching these people go through their everyday lives from early fall until after Christmas. And so you're covering a 4 to 5 month period there. But it just was such a great movie. I cannot recommend this movie enough. I tried to find a weakness in it, and I thought that maybe the use of Pachelbel's canon and D minor, I believe, was maybe a little bit unoriginal. But then I looked it up, and this is actually one of the first movies to use that in its score, and it actually popularized it for graduations and things today. So I can't even use that against the movie. This is one of those movies that, as far as direction, acting, editing, it just doesn't have any weakness I can find with it. It's almost the perfect movie. I'm not sure if I'm willing to call it that, but it is worth watching, and I think you will really enjoy it. And you've got there's some funnier parts in it. There's some really sad parts in it. It's just as dramas should be. This is one of the great ones ever made. It scores a 7.7 on IMDb. I think that's too low. I think it should be above 8, an 8.1, 8.2, 8.3, around in that range. I just think it's one that everybody should watch. And if you like dramas, it's one that everybody should own. I just cannot say enough about this. A little bit of trivia. Judd Hirsch's character was originally supposed to be played by Richard Dreyfuss. But I guess when Robert Redford called Dreyfuss just said he was having a nervous breakdown and he couldn't talk. And then he just hung the phone up. So a little ironic there that you turn down a role for a psychiatrist because you're having a nervous breakdown. Additionally, Mary Tyler Moore, who had never played a more serious character before, on set was very cold towards Timothy Hutton, the actor, as a means of almost method acting her role, where she was going to have to be cold towards him in the movie. And then after the movie was completed, they're friends. They became friends. But it's based on a novel by the same name that's often banned from school libraries because of the serious subject matter in it. I don't think it's nearly as wild as a lot of the books they're trying to push on kids these days, but it does make a lot of lists for books that are often reconsidered as to whether they should be read by young adults. And so I have not read the book, but it might be worth checking out just to see what it's like and how it relates to the movie. So that's what I've got for you guys. That's Ordinary People, directed by Robert Redford. Takes place in Chicago, back when Chicago was nice, and I think it's definitely worth checking out. Thank you so much for all your subscriptions. We are growing as a channel. I appreciate that. If you want to support the channel, you can send us a donation using our Venmo link in the description. You can also put a suggestion for a review in the notes of that donation if you want. You can send us an email as well. I'm going to try to collaborate with a few other creators here coming up, and hopefully as our channel grows, that'll become more and more of a possibility. I just thank you guys so much for all your support and for watching. I just do this for fun, but it is so much more fun when you guys are engaged with the channel, and we can help keep these movies in the forefront and keep people watching them, because they definitely deserve it. I will see you on the next episode of A Blind Guy's View. Laters on the Menjay.
Laters on the Menjay.
Ships on bigger of the waves are skimming by, and some is still